Feature Friday.
The freshest. Alright, so now we got Arijit Singh and he's presenting, well, he's performing live Dua. I don't know where it is, but it's like a freaking cool set of performers in the stage already, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yo Beji Thi, or maybe T, Dua?
Yep.
Maybe
Don't
that-
know literally
Maybe that's
anything
not bad
about it.
pronunciation. Let us know. I imagine I probably murdered it. Well, let's give it a watch. Go on.
The next song is Dua. Speak it out.
Oh, that's
Dua,
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, it speaks in English. A lot of people speak in English in India.
Oh my god, yes to the guitar.
But there's so many languages in India, which is something I'm learning. It's like
Yeah,
over
yeah.
2,800 languages.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
a lot.
Go on.
The guitar is awesomeness though. Oh my god, what the hell? That's amazing. See, I told you the setup was freaking mad. Look at that, the amount of people that's in that stage. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah. Wouldn't say otherwise, mate.
What?
I wouldn't say otherwise.
Yeah, it's cool. Look, it's a huge stage. Do they have two drummers?
Looks like it.
Oh no! What? They have a minor percussion section in the other side. I think.
Let's play. I have to.
Ooh, cool. Oh, good. Oh my god, I love that. And he has a headset too. Bless you.
Tuk, tuk.
Turn up. Sorry. Oh, what a vibe. It's MTV. It's MTV stage for India. MTV India tour. Royal Stack Arijit Singh MTV India
Oh
tour.
yeah, you know what I was gonna say. It's very. I think he's probably my favorite singer that we've discovered out of like India right now. I also like Arman.
Arman.
I forget his surname.
So many people are called Arman. There's like a famous footballer from India too who's called Arman.
Really?
And I don't.
I guess you could say the same name about John. Like, everyone's called John.
Yeah, but it was really like it was hard for me to find a picture because I typed the name and
Yeah.
there's so many people that came up that are just as famous with the same name, and I was like, oh my god, which one is it?
Yeah, well, it seems
It was
there's
very
a
funny.
bunch of talented people over there. But
Literally,
I was gonna
so
say,
many talented people.
I think he's probably my favorite discovery because out of India right now, because like I would lean more towards this because I think it's so highly melodic and you can literally listen to this on any setting.
And it's a great fusion of their folkloric sound with contemporary alternative music too, and it's meeting that meeting in the middle with that
Yeah.
fusion of sounds. It's really atmospheric.
I
though.
would like to ask because obviously we checked out Shreya and we're becoming a bit more sort of familiar with a singer like Shreya, and it seems that Shreya it's sort of a pinnacle of classical Indian singing. Right. So would
cool.
this be qualified as sort of classical-esque technique-wise?
I wouldn't think so. I think this is leaning towards more the
Alternative rock.
alternative-ish slash pop-ish,
Right.
like more popular music than I would think maybe perhaps.
Well, it certainly is fucking popular. Go on.
It's popular indeed. I mean, the stadium is huge, and I wonder how many people there's in that band.
I'm so intrigued by this
Not
industry.
counting, all the all the crew that's doing all the cameras and technical and stuff.
Yeah.
But on stage, there's so many people. The little girl is living her best life.
That man feels music differently.
Oh my god, yes!
Took one in there.
Wow, how nice! That's exactly what it inspires, yeah. people.
God, man.
God.
That's pretty mental. That is. It looks like a whole sea of humans.
Oh my goodness.
I reckon if they all did this, you could actually walk over them.
Jesus. Coolness. How exciting. God, how nice. The backing vocalists are doing some magic there.
You know, what's really cool about him is, I mean, and maybe that's just, sort of what a lot of people find cool. I think it's like, it does turn a bit more, you know, sort of more mainstream, popular sounding, right? Even all across the world, it will sound more familiar. But then he sort of decides to do sort of more, more classical things there, but unclassical things for our ears. And it just makes him
I wouldn't say classical. I would say
no, I mean classical in the
folkloric.
sense of orthodox.
I would think it's more folkloric than it is like, orthodox in its manner. It's more going back to the roots of the sound in India rather than thinking it's not classical whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? Because classical is like a genre itself.
Well, that's what everyone's telling me. That's the genre that these guys are very good
classical.
at. Yep. Classical Indian singing.
Oh,
That's why I'm a bit confused. I'm trying to... And I do read every message, by the way, that you guys send me. I know it's quite a lot of them, and I can't get through all of them, but I do try and read most of them. I don't reply, because then if I reply to someone, I have to reply to everyone. But I sort of like a picture, and then you know.
But you do see where I'm coming from, right? Because classical singing...
No.
Yeah, because classical singing, it's opera.
Yes.
That's classical singing to me, like from my training.
That's in the West.
Right.
Well,
so
classical singing in the West is opera. What about the East?
Right. Cool. That's a perfectly great point.
And we discussed this before. It's like even interpretations of different, you know, rhythm and blues, jazz. You know, all this stuff changes as you travel.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
But that's what it seems everyone's sort of trying to explain to me, and I do appreciate all the time you guys take to comment. It really means a lot.
Yes, thanks for sure for all the information and educating us in the process. This is just great because it kind of reminds me as well a little bit of like the alternative rock bands that from the early 2000s, like Goo Goo Dolls and stuff like that, when they used to go live.
Right.
And they used to create this type of like same atmosphere in their live settings. It is so spacey and it's so highly melodic, and it was all about connecting with the audience. And I mean, this is at a huge scale, like even bigger than I ever even consider it, because you've got so many people on stage and so many people watching that are in the moment with him. He's such a great connector. Like, he really connects in his performance. I love that he's also wearing a headset. That is so cool.
Yeah, not very common.
That is really nice. I like that. God, this is epic. It's all about that melody. For some reason, I thought that was an electric guitar for a second.
Go on.
No, like hearing it before I saw the instrument. That is so cool. Go off, friend. Nice.
Holy shit, dude!
Come on. God, the chord progression.
What a style!
Oh my God! god, she's a star.
Well, that's an example of exactly what I'm trying to convey with words, which I'm trying to find it difficult to do. It's again like that turned more sort of, it took a more orthodox turn, sort of bringing a violin and then you obviously, but then it takes this completely, maybe you're right, more folkloric approach to things, more sort of more typical of culture, sounding wise. I forget the name of that instrument. I have learned tabla though. That is correct. That is not part of the minor percussion. I will learn this one next. But it's a merge of different sort of parts of the world together.
That's right.
And it's so interesting to me because they're so obviously different in terms of melodic scales, in terms of sounds, in terms of harmonies. But then to sort of make it a bit easier to digest and then mix in, also sprinkle in or season it in this way, it's very peculiar, and I think it makes the Indian music industry one of the most intriguing and thought-provoking ones that we've discovered so far on the channel.
Absolutely, is this huge melting pot of ideas and influences, and they all come together in such a magical way. I mean, this experience.
That arrangement was class.
No, because the song itself finished like the structure of the singing song itself finished about 2 minutes ago. We only had 2 minutes of proper structurized singing, The rest of it was all creating atmosphere, vocally speaking. It was kind of like amplifying the melody that we were hearing from the chord progression. And then he turned into an absolute ad libitum type of like open play for the band, which, by the way, is not seen very often nowadays in live music. It is such a refreshing moment to see, to revive.
But it also seems
that element of live music.
Also seems that music industry there, it's also very leaning towards live music. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I feel. Let's keep listening. Pull it back maybe more. I want to see the arrangement again.
Sure.
Please.
She's such a performer. Stunning stuff.
Yeah, I wonder what her name is.
See, it's all creating atmosphere. God. Way too freaking easy. That was he made that way too freaking easy.
So scatting, but it is
no that there
it's a mixture of
that wasn't scatting, because
but I guess
scatting
it comes
is like,
from the same.
But it's say that is a riff. Let's just call it a riff. But yeah, what the hell? And he was playing this in between notes and all the accidents and. Was he? Wow! It's just so dynamic, vocally speaking, craziness. Yeah, I guess we can call it scatting. You're right.
Synergy in that stadium. There's synergy between like singer, musician, the violinist. What the? It's like that sort of. They all became one there at one point. That was so. Yeah, it was so weird to watch.
It was so elevating.
Yeah, it's like what unity sounds like. That is so bizarre.
Wow.
You don't get that very often.
Not at all. What a magical performance. Just given the atmosphere they were able to provide in such a big stage, so many people.
It's also a big moment. It's like,
Oh,
God,
that's a
what the
huge
fuck?
moment. that was like that moment on the Shreya's video that we saw, that she's doing all those impressive,
So that's cold.
It must be common, I would think. It's something they must commonly hear.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So it is common.
But they are also anomalies.
But she's like exceptionally good at it.
Yeah.
It's called. Oh, and she was singing in a bunch of languages. But that's called. Gosh, I don't know what it's called. Oh, it's actually a sargam. It's called a sargam.
A sargam.
Which, in its simplest meaning, I guess it's a counterpart of a scale. So for us, do re mi fa si la si do. For them, and that's what she was doing. But she's doing her own. Like, I guess like the Indian version.
Like a descant.
Yes, maybe.
Right.
I think that's what it is. That's probably the best way to describe it. But it's obviously very. Or it originated there, so it's very theirs.
Of course. It's
so like, maybe that could have been
Arabic
a bit...
melismas is basically theirs.
Yeah, and and these sort of
and the
Indian riffs and harmonies that I guess are somehow connected to Arabic melismas in some way.
They're vastly different.
Or maybe it was the other way around. It's very
vastly
confusing.
Different. It's vastly different. I mean, the only common ground, because I was doing some research about it, the only common ground is how they utilize the accidents in the scales. And how they accentuate them. But
I guess also geographically it would make sense whether it would have been
absolutely
influenced some way or some others.
Yeah, I mean, it's just wonderful, because I love learning through you guys and about brand new musical influences and how they can fusion themselves into alternative music like we just saw right now. So if you have any more live performances from any artist that you'd like us to check out next, please leave it down in the comment section below, and we will most likely check it out.
Oh, we will. We definitely will.
It is so exciting. I'm really pleased with that.
Goodbye.